Hey, KZ Guy 2 here, NoNonsenseKnowHow. Working on a 2007 Hyundai Veracruz, and I'm gonna show you the basics on how to replace the alternator on this. Give you some good tips as well. This should work on 2007 to 2012 Veracruz with the 3.8 liter. So anyway, to start, you're gonna go ahead and jack it up, get your wheel off on this side. Take this plastic shroud off, 4 10mm bolts holding that on, one right here as well. This is a good time to go ahead and check your belt out on there, and if it's got any dry rot or oil soaked or something, get yourself a new one before you get into this. Also a good time to check out your tensioner. This one was leaking, so I'm going to be replacing that, along with the idler pulley as well, because this bearing's actually pretty locked up on this thing. It's making a lot of noise as well. So to remove your belt, first go ahead and, when you get that cover off, draw yourself a diagram of the belt routing so you don't get mixed up. Go ahead and put a 19mm deep socket like this on your tensioner. This is aluminum, so don't strip this out. Get a good bite on there. Counterclockwise, relieve the tensioner of the belt, remove the belt. Then 12mm bolt here and 17 right here. Then your idler pulley is going to be a 14mm. So then come up in here, check out all your other pulleys, make sure nothing jammed up in there, rocks and things like that can get in there, and that they all spin freely and good, along with your crank pulley as well. Then go ahead and remove the one 14mm bolt on the alternator that you can get to right here. It looks like you could actually just loosen it and leave it in there because it's got a horseshoe hole there, but I went ahead and removed that. Anyway, then you're going to be done down here. So coming up top, the alternator is going to be coming out of the top here. By the way, let's go to these alternators here real quick. Tip of the day, if your alternator is oil soaked like this, go ahead and replace your valve cover gaskets. This one actually looks like it was relatively new, and this one wasn't charging, so this oil gets all over these things and causes problems. Verify that it's the same as the new part. Electrical connectors are the same and the mounting points are the same and all that. Spin your new pulley. Look at that one. This one was clearly dropped and is bent up, so I'm going to have to swap over the new. Hopefully this fits on there. If not, I'm gonna have to get another alternator. Should probably replace this anyway because it's been dropped, but we'll see. Anyway, so the other mounting bolt's gonna be a 14mm too on the top that you're gonna get to. So to get to it, go ahead and remove your 12mm nut. Disconnect your battery first, by the way. Big time important when you're doing an alternator. Remove the 12mm nut holding the power cable on there, and this bracket right here had two 10mm on it going right there, so remove that and the connector off the back of it. This was actually already missing the bolts, but this bracket here is supposed to be bolted to the head right here and right over here. I assume they were 10mm. The previous person who did it didn't put those back on though, so tuck that out of your way. The biggest barrier is kind of getting your radiator fan out of there, so that's going to have two 10mm bolts holding it on the top. Also, to remove this fan, you're going to remove your oil dipstick and these two electrical connections right here and here, and pop it off the harness on this side, off this clip on this side too as well. And this front hose here, aluminum hose, you'll pop this down out of this plastic clip right here, get the rubber hose off the back, and then it's snapped in up here too. Get that out of your way. And then this is why you're gonna have to get this out of the way here. Go ahead and take a pry bar and go in this hole right here and pry on the back side of this hose, just like a small pry bar like this. You get in there like that, don't break the hose, but pry back like that when you're taking this fan out, and you should be able to slip it out. I was able to get mine out no problem. So anyway, once you get that off, take the last connection off the back of your alternator, and you're gonna have a couple wire harness tabs on there too that you're gonna have to remove. But that's really it. So putting the new one back in, slip and slide right through here, no problem. Really, like I said, the toughest part of this job is knowing that it comes out of the top and not the bottom. I've seen people try to take them out of the bottom, and once you get that radiator fan out of there, plenty of room. And in case you didn't draw a belt diagram, here is with the new belt on there, what it's gonna look like. Strapping over the top, pulling back here, just like that. And to get it off, you're gonna put the 19mm on right here, counterclockwise, a lot of tension on that. So anyway, if you found this quick and helpful, give it a thumbs up, definitely appreciate that. and let me know if I missed something. You know, kind of ripped it apart, and I figured I would just show you guys, you know, what you're looking at. If you're doing this job, if you know what you're doing, should take you, you know, an hour tops, something like that. So of course, having air tools will obviously speed that process up. So anyway, KZ Guy 2, no nonsense, know how, and thanks a lot, guys.